Hey guys, it's Noah and welcome to Must Watch. Well, mass shootings seem like a weekly event, but what hasn't changed is the need to support victims and their families after the attention fades while helping provide help to the communities experiencing the unthinkable. Joining us now to discuss how their organization, VictimsFirst, offers direct help for mass shooting families and the communities that experience them is Anita Busch, president and co-founder of VictimsFirst and the co-founder of the National Compassion Fund. Anita, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So first off, Anita, can you share your personal story of how you got involved in this mission?
Sure. 10 years ago, my cousin Michaela was murdered in a mass shooting in Aurora, Colorado during the midnight screening of Dark Knight Rises. And afterwards, in the aftermath, there was a lot of confusion, a lot of trauma, and victim care was really not provided. And we wanted to make sure things would change. So all of our mass shooting families from previous mass shootings who have experienced the same thing got together, and we decided to try to protect others that have gone through this and to educate communities about how to organize in the best interest of victims. And then, years later, the unthinkable happened, and another member of our family survived a mass shooting by running for her life through a hail of bullets in Vegas. So this is a very personal mission for me.
Very personal indeed, and we are so thankful that you're doing this type of work, but your organization is made up with people who have been personally affected by a mass casualty event. So how important is that to the work you do?
It's vitally important because we have the perspective that many people do not have. So when a mass shooting happens, we are able to provide behind the scenes guidance to communities and also keep victims on their feet. We have an immediate needs fund. And, after a mass shooting, you can't function. You cannot go to work at times, and you lose income and you cannot pay your bills. So we're there to provide a helping hand, and we're there to, turn the light on and let them know that we are a beacon of hope, and you can get through this, and we will help you every step of the way.
Now, Anita, how can we prevent re-victimizing people who are already victims of these tragedies?
It's a very good question. One of the things that we strongly encourage is for communities to immediately set up a victims fund where 100% goes in to the fund and 100% goes out in cash payments to the victims themselves, so they can cope and manage their trauma in any way that they know how, the only way that they know how. And also, we encourage people to think about the language that they use. Like, if you notice, I didn't say the word healing. Healing is something that families of the deceased really do not feel. It's something that you carry, like you're wearing this coat, this heavy coat with you for the rest of your life. There are physical wounds will heal, of course, but language is important. For instance, families of the deceased do not like to hear the word lost. They'd rather hear, your child was stolen from you, taken, or murdered. Likewise, with anniversaries, it's nothing to celebrate. So people prefer, the year marker, the first remembrance year.
I must say, these are all really important things that we should keep in mind. So Anita, what can communities do out there, and what do they need to know in advance in case a mass tragedy event unfortunately visits them?
Well, on our website, VictimsFirst.org, we have a best practices for mass casualty crime, and it is basically a step-by-step guide of what to do if a mass shooting comes to your community. It will help with organizing. It tells you how to organize in the best interests of the victims, and that includes, businesses who would like to help and what they need to know, and anybody who's in a position of power in a community needs to really look at that and have a plan and a preparedness plan. That's the most important thing that you can do.
This has been so important for our audience to hear your story this morning, Anita, so I am so thankful that you could come on our platform and talk more about this. But now, how can people help your mission, and where can they go for more information about everything that we have discussed this morning with you?
Thank you for asking that. We are in Uvalde right now. We've come down 3 times, and we were able to do that because we have we have a fund for that. So on our website, victimsfirst.org, there are 2 funds. One is to help us continue our mission in the administration fund, and the other is for victims. And 100% of what goes into that general victims fund goes out, 100%, every penny, to mass shooting victims to help keep them on their feet. And that means nationwide. We are always there. We are their safety net. So we'd appreciate any help that anybody wants to give.
Thank you so very much, Anita Busch, for sharing your story and your insights and your ways to help. It's been a delight to get to meet you, and I send my love to you, and thank you once again for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much, Noah. Really appreciate it.